This day's a day, a bad luck's always coming my way.
Came across this really interesting place about an hour north of Los Angeles. The town is called Acton. I guess technically I'm up in the mountains. These buildings are part of what's known as the Mountain Desert Retreat. And I've been here for, I don't know, about a half an hour trying to find a living soul. And it kind of feels deserted. I know it's not, but it feels that way. I love Hollywood history, especially old Hollywood history. And there's this thing known as the one shot. It's the one shot in a movie or a TV show or maybe even a picture that you see that it just kind of sticks with you pretty much your entire life. You think about it.
Where did you get the confidence from to make a film with such...
Ignorance, sheer ignorance. You know, there's no confidence to equal it. I thought you could do anything with a camera that the eye could do or the imagination could do. And I didn't know that there were things you couldn't do. So anything I could think up in my dreams, I attempted to photograph.
Now in the past, we did a one-shot filming location video for a 1919 movie called Daddy Longlegs starring Mary Pickford. Today, we're visiting another one-shot for me. It's from a movie that came out in 1936 known as Modern Times. Often whenever we go on these adventures, we run into other side adventures, like little side quests. This is definitely one of them. I'm really digging this door to the church. It's a side door, but the crosses that are on it are kind of speaking to me. Now, I didn't see the TV show The Mayans, but the caretaker came by and I was telling him what I was doing, that I was here for an old Charlie Chaplin movie. And he said that they actually filmed quite a few episodes for the TV show The Mayans. So maybe that looks familiar to you. Not to me, like I said, I didn't see it. But it's a beautiful place, that's for sure. The church is something else. And it looks like the doors are open. Now, just like the side doors, you can see the crosses, but this is the main entrance right here. Let's go ahead inside. Really, really quiet. I don't know about you guys, but it's definitely given me Fear Street Part 3 vibes. Remember the preacher with no eyes? The 1936 movie, Modern Times, is considered by many people, especially in the film industry, to be Charlie Chaplin's most important and best film. It is his last silent film, I do believe, and it's also the last film where you actually see his character that he's most known for, the little tramp. I honestly can't tell you the first time I saw this movie, but I will say this. There was a period in my life where I was really obsessed with silent movies. And I'm gonna say that it probably started whenever Johnny Depp did the movie Benny and June. I was kind of obsessed with Buster Keaton for some time. Now, the movie, Modern Times, it's amazing, it really is. And I know silent films aren't really for everybody, but if you can, it's for free, it's on YouTube, give it a watch, you'll love it. The scene that I want to visit today, my one shot, is the very last scenes of the movie before it fades to black. It's beautiful. So just a quick heads up, where we are right now, in case you want to come out here and visit it yourself, is right next to the Los Angeles County Fire Department, Station 81 on the Sierra Highway. It's a fairly busy highway, cars are flying by, so I'm gonna do everything I can to be careful. If you come out here, be careful as well. Now, where we were just filming at, the mountain retreat, it's a couple miles up that way behind the camera. I'd be looking at it right now. What we're here for is right over here in this area, and we can line up shots. Now, please keep in mind that this movie came out in 1936, so a lot has changed, that's for sure. But you can see how this road goes right up and it kind of cuts in the hillside. Now, looking at that part of the hill right there, pay attention to that because you can see that in this scene, because this is the shot that we get. And then the camera pans over this way to Charlie Chaplin and Paulette Goddard sitting on the side of the road. Now, in real life, Paulette Goddard, after this movie came out, she actually married Charlie Chaplin. A little bit of trivia for you. This is a service road that runs pretty parallel to the actual road. And a lot of times when things change over the years, they move roads sometimes 10, 15, 20, 50 yards away from where they once stood. The same thing, they did the same thing whenever it came to James Dean's actual crash site. Now in this scene, they're down on their luck. And Paulette Goddard, she leans over on a rock distraught and she says, "What's the use of even trying?" And in true Goonies fashion, Charlie Chaplin turns to her and says, "Never say die." We get another shot of the road again, this time from right smack dab in the middle as they walk out into the road hand in hand and walk right towards where I'm standing. This is the direction that they would have been walking, but in all actuality, the next scene is actually 2 miles up the road. In an effort to save time for whoever wants to come out here and to visit this place, to stand in this piece of cinematic history, the closest intersection to the actual shot is Sierra Highway and Thomas Road. I can't stress this enough. If you do decide to come out here to visit this filming location, please exercise caution. It is a busy road. Cars and trucks are flying by. Now, straight ahead, I'm gonna line up shots, but this is the location of my one shot from the 1936 Charlie Chaplin movie, Modern Times. I'm definitely gonna hug the embankment on this one. The wind is really starting to pick up. Now, once you park, you have to walk a little bit down if you want to get the exact shot. I mean, you can see the mountains off in the distance. See what I mean? Wow, flying by. Some of the trucks have been big. I'm talking like Pet Cemetery, Hidden Gauge big. But you can stop back there and get a shot all the way down the road here of the actual mountains. But I'm gonna try to get it as close as possible. I will say this though, the wind feels really nice. Because it's getting hot out. All right, almost there. I think we're gonna have to get on the other side of the road to get the shot. I think this is as good as we're gonna get. Now I wanna draw your attention to 4 peaks on that mountain down there at the end of the road. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. Now pay close attention to that, because in this scene, they're actually walking down the middle of the road. And this is the shot that you get. Now, obviously that tree and that telephone pole is blocking off one of those peaks, which is why I wanted to point it out over there. But this is it, 1936, Charlie Chaplin's Modern Times. My one shot, the very last scene in the movie before it fades to black. I know this movie isn't a horror film, but it is a staple in Hollywood, old Hollywood movie history. So I had to come out here and take a look at it. I mean, come on, how cool is this? 1936 and standing right where Charlie Chaplin once stood and filmed the end of The Little Tramp, his last movie from the silent film era. I live for this kind of thing. With that being said, until next time, happy Halloween.
Wherever I come, bad luck just comes my way. Wherever I go, hard luck is there to stay. Good luck never stays a day. Bad luck's always coming my way.